Hey y'all, drink some coffee, or in this case Red Bull, on the porch with me while I tell you some teaching hacks to make your school year a little bit better. To give you my resume, I taught for almost 10 years in the public education school system, and that is my background. I literally was a teacher, taught English. In some ways I taught history as well, so there's my cookie. What you may not know is that your child is subjected to state standards. Now, state standards are in every state the standard that they expect children to meet before they move up to the next grade level. If they have not met those standards, the expectation is they stay at that grade level. These standards are what they use to base the end of the year test on. And the trouble with these standards are that while they have equality, they do not have equity. There's a really big difference, and there's a graphic that really brilliantly displays how the difference is between equality and equity in education, because we're talking about equity in education. It means that for me as a learner, I am not math brain. So if you try to teach me trigonometry, I'm going to be completely lost. I will be one of those children who are left behind by the standards. Now, for me, if I can't pass those math standards, they're just going to pass me on to the next level, because if I can't meet them in 1 year, I won't meet them if I have to retake the grade another year. That was literally what one of my principals said when we were trying to hold a couple of children back because they were literally failing. So here we are. The majority of third grade children in the state of Tennessee failed the 10 Ready test in all subject areas, mind you. Now, the reason why it's showing that they're failing these tests is because the way that the education, these standards are being delivered, while it's equal, it's not equitable. Children learn at different levels. You can't expect a child in 6th grade to have a 6th grade reading level unless they have met all of the standards before that. Now, what happens if they haven't and they're just passed on? What you get is a group of 6th graders where the majority of them have a 3rd grade reading education. And that's the reality, because education is being delivered equally, but not equitably. Now, if you're still listening, you're one of those parents that gives a crap about your child's education, and cheers. Thank you. Honestly, you're my favorite type of parent. So here's what you need to do. Go to your state's standards and filter it by, subject level. And what you'll find is a very overwhelming list of things that the children are expected to learn at that particular grade level. Now, I taught middle school, so I was kind of the middle of the road in terms of education. And what I saw was that a lot of kids were not at the middle school level by the time we got them. So, in my opinion, if parents knew about the state standards, how to look them up, they can keep track themselves of what the children are learning. I don't know why teachers, education systems, school districts, I don't know why this information is being gatekept, but it is. And the truth is, if you want your child to have a better school year, have those standards now and start asking your children about them. Now, if they can't tell you one that they're learning about, that's something that can be addressed in the classroom. But if it's one that they haven't got to yet, then okay, save that, table it for later, because it will be gotten to eventually, because that's what teachers are paid to do. They're paid to deliver standards. They're not paid to babysit. Expectation is that these standards are being taught in the classroom, and the understanding should be, if your teacher is not teaching your child how to do these standards and they've fallen behind, then they're going to get left behind. The teacher at the next grade level is not going to teach them those things, because the attitude is they should have already learned it, and it's not their responsibility to teach standards from previous school years. So if you give crap about your child's education, do us all, okay, the whole world, a favor, and find your state's education standards and start keeping track of them. Find out what skills your child missed because of the lack of ability to get them that education that they need to make the education equitable, then you can step up. You can do it. I know that these standards are overwhelming. The first time I ever even looked at the standards wasn't even until like my second or third year of teaching, because they weren't telling us either. They weren't telling us how to find them. They weren't telling us how to teach them. So I know it's overwhelming, but it's doable. It is doable. And also, I challenge you to look at your state's history standards, okay? Look for the social studies standards. Find out what's missing, because there is a lot. There is an upsetting amount of social studies and world history that is missing in our children's education system. In 8th grade, the only thing they study is U.S. history, and that's it. They don't study anything else, just U.S. history. So it's kind of alarming. So if you're ready to throw up, read your social studies standards. Right, that has been my public service announcement. I've done my duty. I have made this video and I've sent it out into the world. So what you do with this knowledge is up to you. But cheers, y'all. Let's make the world a little bit better. And also, thank you for being you. Thank you for listening. And see you next time.